Growing legal debate over several judges blocking the deportation of international travelers and whether, particularly speaking of the New York judge, has standing to override the president's executive order. This, as we learn, other judges have issued orders as well, including that the detainees have the right to counsel. The debate getting as complicated as it is contentious. On Fox News Sunday, White House counselor Kellyanne Conway weighing in on the injunction from the New York judge.
The judge in Brooklyn, the Obama appointee judge in Brooklyn's stay of order really doesn't affect the executive order at all, because the executive order is meant to be prospective. It's preventing, not detaining. And so you're talking about 325,000 people from overseas came into this country just yesterday through our airports. It's 325,000. You're talking about 300 and some who have been detained or are prevented from gaining access to an aircraft in their home countries and must stay for now.
Speaking about Judge Ann Donnelly in New York and Brooklyn specifically, let's talk about this now with Rachel Self, a trial attorney, and Alex Little, a defense attorney and former assistant federal prosecutor. And Alex, I'm going to start with you. What do you?
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. What do the various orders mean in the short term for those stranded at airports? And what about those people stuck and can't leave their home countries? They're being stopped from getting on planes headed to the U.S.
There are four separate orders right now that we know about. There's one in New York that you mentioned from Judge Donnelly. There's another order from Judge Brinkema in the Eastern District of Virginia, which covers Dulles Airport. And there's two other orders. I believe one is in Oregon. Right now, the broadest order is Judge Donnelly's order in New York, and it says that all folks who have arrived here who were in transit or had approved visas or refugee status before the executive order was issued cannot be deported, cannot be forcibly returned to their home country. None of these orders protect folks who are outside of the country and have not started transit and who do not yet have approved refugee or visa status.
You want to weigh in, Rachel?
Yes, and actually there is an order now out of Massachusetts, which was issued at 2:30 last night after some incredible work by some local immigration lawyers here in Boston. They went in for an emergency temporary restraining order, which was granted, and it was granted. And all of these orders are coming into play because they're granted based on a writ of habeas corpus, which means produce the body. Habeas corpus exists to evaluate unlawful detention. So for Kellyanne Conway to say that they're not detaining them is absolutely outrageous, because you can say that all you want, but there's still people being held in cages, in cuffs, in airports, and they're not criminals. And so the reason the TROs are immediately and very swiftly issuing is because these are unlawful detention holdings.
And Rachel, I'll stay with you. The administration is saying they're going to continue on its current course. So where does this legal road on this take us?
It'll lead the administration into contempt orders of federal courts, and it may very well lead to the Supreme Court, and they absolutely have to uphold the orders. The Massachusetts judge who issued the order said that she would have U.S. Marshals on hand to ensure that the orders are complied with. And so it is very, very important to understand the fact that as Americans, we should not be favoring these types of orders that discriminate and that are based on religion, that are based on just the wrong reasons. I appreciate wanting to have security in this country, but holding professors, doctors, students who are here on lawful visas and who are here with the permission of this country and who are here after 2 years of vetting, sometimes 5 years of vetting by 16 national and worldwide agencies is absolutely unfair, and it's also illegal. It violates the First Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the Sixth Amendment. People are being denied their right to counsel in these airports. That's why you see immigration attorneys and ACLU on the ground in airports offering free advice to these people. These are the facts. Okay. This is really, really
Rachel,
happening.
Let me get Alex to jump in here. You've got California Attorney General Xavier Becerra joining 15 attorneys general condemning what they're calling the un-American ban. Also, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer already planning to introduce legislation to overturn the president's executive order. Alex, so walk us through that legal process.
Sure.
And what's the timetable on that?
Well, the first timetable is there'll be some hearings at some point in the next week or two about the initial orders to not send people back. What is abundantly clear so far is that the executive order was issued with very little vetting by DOJ and other administration officials who are the lawyers who are going to have to defend this in court. And so, the Trump administration has issued this order with really very little legal backing behind it. And now they're going to have to get in front of a judge and sort of make up as they go what their legal arguments are. And that's what I think is really troubling when Kellyanne Conway comes on TV and says this is an Obama judge. When judges take the oath, they are judges for the United States. And right now, 4 of those judges are very skeptical about whether these detention orders are legal. And so at some point, we got to hear what the administration says legally to defend them, because right now they're on very thin ice.
I unfortunately do have to. You got 10 seconds, please, Rachel. I'm up against a heartbreak.
Well, he has made America great again in getting people together and rallying against this to protect the Constitution. So that is a good thing.
All right, Rachel Self, Alex Little, I have to leave it there. Thank you both.
Thank you very much.
And
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll be right back.